Is letting go of anxiety the same as being at peace?
Do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes? Look at the birds in the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? And why do you worry about clothes? See how the flowers of the field grow. They do not labour or spin. Yet I tell you that not even Solomon in all his splendour was dressed like one of these. If that is how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today and tomorrow is thrown into the fire, will he not much more clothe you, you of little faith?
Releasing or letting go of anxiety is the other face of being at peace. The verb to be seems to promote a passive non-resistance, whereas the concept of letting go seems to indicate a purposeful act. I think they are both purposeful acts. They both have choice as their motivator. Jack Cornfield is an author and Buddhist practitioner keen on the practice of mindfulness. He says, anything that can be lost was never truly ours. Anything we cling to only imprisons us. Sometimes we do not achieve peace because we cling to the idea that simply being is lazy and lacks purpose. We stand to be judged by our peers and seek to avoid that. So the idea of finding time, or having to justify the time to be at peace, is what we cling to, and are therefore imprisoned by. And as death approaches, we want to cling to life. How can we understand that as imprisonment? Because life is more than the body. Jane Hirshfield is a poet and essayist, and in her poem My Life Was the Size of My Life, in 2012, she observes that life goes on pretty much the same for everyone, despite differences.
My life was the size of my life. Its rooms were room-sized. Its soul was the size of a soul. In its background, mitochondria hummed. Above it, sun, clouds, snow, the transit of stars and planets. It rode elevators, bullet trains, various aeroplanes, a donkey.
Being at peace occurs when we have found it. That is why it is not passive. We must make a purposeful act and find it. And sometimes that happens when we've gone to do something else. As John Lennon said in his song Beautiful Boy, life is what happens to you when you're busy making other plans. You could say that peace occurs when you've gone to look for something else, because in that act you have let go of the things that cause you anxiety. For as any new mother will tell you, and especially the birds of the air, the anxiety of caring for a newborn is set at peace by the nesting activity of preparation. Anxiety adds nothing to our lives, but being at peace allows us to observe the sum of all that we are, of all that we experience, and find that even in death, our value is not decreased, since nothing is lost. We are at peace. It is not the release of anxiety, but the willing acceptance of existence.